My girlfriend casually told me that he calls me wifey as a joke. I said nothing and just packed my things. Then my girlfriend asked him to come to the apartment to clear the air. But when he arrived, the scene there was shocking. I'm 28, been with Lily for 3 years, and until last Tuesday, I thought we had something solid. We weren't perfect, but we laughed at the same stupid videos, finished each other's takeout orders, and had this comfortable rhythm that felt like home. Then she destroyed it with 7 words while scrolling through her phone on our couch. Oh, Brandon calls me wifey now. She said it like she was commenting on the weather. Didn't even look up from her screen. Just this casual little mention dropped into our evening like it was nothing. Brandon was her co-worker, the guy she'd been partnered with on some big project for the past 2 months. I'd heard his name maybe 50 times in the last 8 weeks. Always, Brandon thinks this is hilarious. Or, Brandon showed me this restaurant we should try. Or, Brandon and I stayed late to finish the presentation. I'd been patient about it. Supportive, even. She was excited about her work, and I wasn't going to be that insecure boyfriend who got weird about her having male friends. But, wifey, was a line I didn't know existed until it got crossed. What did you just say? I asked, muting the TV. She glanced up, that innocent face that used to make me melt. Oh, Brandon? Yeah, he's been calling me wifey for like 2 weeks now. It's just a joke thing we have at work. You know how office humor is. The way she said it, so light, so dismissive, made something crack inside my chest. 2 weeks. He'd been calling her that for 2 weeks, and she was just now mentioning it. How many times had he said it? How many times had she smiled and let it happen? I didn't respond. I just stood up, walked to our bedroom, and pulled my duffel bag from the closet. My hands were steady as I started folding shirts. I wasn't angry in the explosive way. I was angry in the cold, clear way that tells you something fundamental just broke. What are you doing? Lily appeared in the doorway, phone still in her hand. Packing. Packing? Are you serious right now? Her voice pitched up, confused rather than apologetic. It's literally just a joke. You're being ridiculous. I moved to the dresser, grabbed socks, underwear, the watch my dad gave me that I kept in the top drawer. She kept talking, her words blending into this noise I couldn't fully process. Something about me overreacting, about how Brandon was harmless, about how I was making her feel crazy for having friends. Say something, she demanded, stepping closer. You can't just shut down like this. I zipped the bag, grabbed my keys from the dresser, and finally looked at her. There's nothing to say. You let another man call you wifey and thought it was cute enough to tell me about. That tells me everything I need to know. Her face went pale. That's not fair. You're twisting this into something it's not. Am I? I picked up my laptop bag from the chair. If I told you some woman at work started calling me hubby as a joke, would you be okay with that? She faltered. That's different. How? Because you're acting like I cheated or something. I didn't do anything wrong. You disrespected our relationship, I said quietly. And you don't even see it. I walked past her. She grabbed my arm, and I stopped, but didn't turn around. Where are you going? My brother's place. For how long? I don't know. Her grip tightened. So you're just leaving? You're not even going to talk to me about this. I pulled my arm free gently. What's there to talk about, Lily? You want me to explain why I'm uncomfortable with another man calling you wifey? You want me to convince you that it's inappropriate? If you don't already understand that, then we have a bigger problem. I left. Didn't slam the door. Just closed it quietly behind me and drove across town to Nathan's apartment, where he took one look at my face and wordlessly pointed to his guest room. I dropped my bag, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the wall for 20 minutes before my phone started buzzing. For 3 days, my phone exploded. Texts from Lily ranging from defensive to apologetic to angry to desperate. I ignored most of them. Nathan suggested I block her temporarily, but I wanted to see if she'd actually understand what she'd done wrong. The first night, she sent, "You're being childish. Come home so we can talk about this like adults." The second day, "I'm sorry I didn't consider your feelings. I didn't think it was a big deal. Please call me." The third day, "You can't just abandon me over something this stupid. I miss you. I need you here." Never once did she actually grasp the core issue. It wasn't about jealousy. It was about respect. About boundaries. About the fact that she'd been so comfortable in whatever dynamic she had with Brandon that wifey felt natural enough to mention to me without a second thought. Nathan's girlfriend, Jess, came over on Friday night. She'd heard the whole story from Nathan and had opinions. Jess always had opinions. She's gaslighting you, Jess said, pointing a chip at me for emphasis. Making you feel like you're overreacting when she's the one who crossed a line. Classic manipulation. I don't think she's doing it on purpose, I said. That almost makes it worse, Jess countered. If she genuinely doesn't see the problem, then she's not mature enough to be in a serious relationship. Nathan grabbed another beer from the fridge. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. Part of me wants to talk to her. Part of me thinks there's nothing left to say. On Saturday morning, I woke up to a text that made my stomach drop. I invited Brandon over to the apartment tonight at 7. You should come too. We can all talk like adults and clear the air. This is getting out of hand. I read it 3 times. She invited him to our apartment to clear the air about him calling her wifey. The audacity was almost impressive. I showed Nathan, who let out a low whistle. That's bold, he said. What are you going to do? I'm going, I said. But I'm bringing backup. Nathan raised an eyebrow. Backup? You? And Jess if she's free. Jess was free. More than free. She was invested. Oh, I'm absolutely coming to this disaster, she said when Nathan called her. I've been waiting for you to wake up about her for months. We arrived at 6:45. I used my key, walked in, and found Lily setting out wine glasses and cheese like she was hosting a book club. She'd changed the throw pillows on the couch. There were candles lit. She was wearing the blue dress I'd always liked. She froze when she saw all 3 of us. What is this? She asked. You wanted to talk like adults, I said. These are my adults. Her face flushed. I meant just the 3 of us. This is ambushing me. Funny, Jess said, settling onto the couch like she owned it. Because inviting your boyfriend and the coworker who calls you wifey to have a mediation session feels like an ambush to me. Lily's mouth opened and closed. She looked at me, betrayal in her eyes. You told them? Of course I told them. You think I was going to keep this to myself? It's private. Between us. It stopped being private when you invited Brandon into it, Nathan said evenly. Before she could respond, there was a knock on the door. She practically ran to answer it. Brandon walked in, and I finally put a face to the name I'd been hearing for months. He was tall, probably 6'2", with styled hair and the kind of confident smile that suggested he'd never been told no in his life. Designer jeans, expensive watch, cologne I could smell from across the room. He also walked in like he'd been here before, which made my jaw tight. His eyes scanned the room, landing on me, then Nathan, then Jess. The confidence dimmed. Hey, he said. I thought this was just going to be a private conversation. I finished. Yeah, Lily has a habit of setting expectations that don't match reality. Brandon looked at Lily. She looked trapped, standing between us like she couldn't decide which side to move toward. Nathan was filming on his phone. I'd asked him to document everything, just in case things got twisted later. Brandon noticed. Why is he recording? Insurance, I said flatly. So, Brandon, wifey, want to explain that to everyone. He shifted his weight, glancing at Lily like she might rescue him. She didn't. Look, man, it's not what you think. It's just an inside joke. We were working late one night, ordered food to the office, and I jokingly said she was acting like my work wife. It spiraled from there. It doesn't mean anything. Spiraled how? Jess asked, leaning forward. Brandon hesitated. Lily jumped in. It's just funny. He says it. I roll my eyes. Everyone laughs. That's it. Does everyone at work know he calls you this? Nathan asked. Silence. Long, damning silence. I watched Lily's face, saw the moment she realized she'd been caught in something she couldn't minimize. They do, I said, realization hitting. Your whole office knows. Which means you've been letting him call you that publicly. In front of coworkers. In meetings. Lily's eyes welled up. You're twisting this into something it's not. Then untwist it, I said. Explain to me how your boyfriend, who you live with, who you've been with for 3 years, should feel hearing that another man calls you wifey and you're fine with it. Brandon cleared his throat. Maybe I should go. No, I said sharply. You wanted to clear the air? Let's clear it. Do you have feelings for her? His face said everything before his mouth did. The hesitation, the glance at Lily, the way his shoulders tensed. The room felt smaller suddenly, the air thicker. Look, she's great. We work well together. But I respect that she's with you. That's not an answer, Jess said coldly. Brandon ran a hand through his hair. Yes. Okay. Yes. I think she's amazing. She's smart and funny, and we have this connection. But I've never acted on it because she's taken. Lily looked like she'd been slapped. Brandon, why would you say that? Because he asked. Brandon shot back. And I'm tired of pretending. You know how I feel. You've known for weeks. The room went silent except for the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. Nathan's phone was still recording. I felt weirdly calm, like watching a play I'd already read the script for. All the pieces were falling into place. The late nights, the constant mentions of Brandon, the way she'd light up when her phone buzzed with work messages. So you knew, I said to Lily. You knew he had feelings for you, and you still let him call you wifey. You still spent extra time with him. You still talked about him constantly to me. It's not. I didn't. She was crying now, mascara streaking. I didn't encourage it. I just didn't want to make work awkward. You made our relationship awkward instead, I said. You prioritized his comfort over mine. Brandon backed toward the door. I should definitely go now. This was a mistake. Yeah, I agreed. You should. And Lily, you should probably go with him since you two are so worried about keeping things comfortable. That's not fair, she sobbed. What's not fair, Jess interjected, standing up, is that you've been emotionally cheating for 2 months and gaslighting your boyfriend about it. That man just admitted he has feelings for you that you've been aware of, and you still thought it was appropriate to tell your boyfriend. He calls you wifey like it's cute. You're either incredibly stupid or incredibly cruel, and I'm not sure which is worse. Lily turned on her. You don't get to judge me. You don't know what it's like. What's like? I asked. What's it like, Lily? Enlighten us. She wiped her face, voice breaking. He makes me feel special. Like I'm interesting and funny and worth paying attention to. You've been so distant lately, so wrapped up in your own stuff, and Brandon actually listens when I talk. He remembers little things. He asks about my day and actually cares about the answer. There it was. The truth underneath everything. I'd been working long hours on a project for the past month. I'd been tired, distracted. And instead of talking to me about feeling neglected, she'd found someone else to fill that gap. So instead of telling me you felt ignored, I said slowly, you started an emotional affair. It's not an affair. It is, Nathan said from the couch. That's literally what an emotional affair is. Emotional intimacy with someone outside your relationship. I never kissed him. I never did anything physical. That's not the bar, I said. You know that's not the bar. Brandon had made it to the door. Lily, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come. This was supposed to help, and I just made it worse. He left, and somehow that made everything worse. The silence he left behind was crushing. I picked up my duffel bag, which I'd left by the door when we came in. I'm getting the rest of my stuff next week. You can keep the apartment. Lease is in your name anyway. Please don't go, Lily whispered, reaching for me. We can fix this. I'll set boundaries. I'll request a different project partner. I'll do whatever you want. Please. I looked at her, really looked at her, and felt nothing but exhaustion. You had boundaries. They're called being in a relationship. You let someone cross them because it felt good, and you didn't care enough about me to stop it. I don't want to fix that. I want to be with someone who wouldn't need to. I love you, she said desperately. Maybe you do, but not enough. Jess grabbed her purse. Nathan stopped recording. We left together, Lily's sobs following us into the hallway. In the elevator, nobody spoke. When we got to Nathan's car, Jess turned to me. You did the right thing. Doesn't feel like it yet. It will, she said. Give it time. 3 weeks later, I signed a lease on my own place, a 1-bedroom downtown with exposed brick and tall windows. Nathan helped me move, and Jess brought pizza and beer. I heard through mutual friends that Lily and Brandon tried dating briefly after our breakup, but it imploded after 2 weeks. Apparently, workplace romance wasn't as fun when it wasn't forbidden. The reality of their connection couldn't survive outside the bubble of stolen moments and inappropriate boundaries. I blocked her number after she sent a drunk text at 2 in the morning calling me the love of her life and begging for another chance. Maybe I was. But I wasn't going to be the backup option while she figured that out. I'm doing okay now. Better than okay, actually. I've been going to the gym with Nathan 5 days a week, picked up cooking as a hobby, and started saying yes to dates when friends try to set me up. Last weekend, I met someone named Adrian at a coffee shop near my new apartment. We talked for 2 hours about nothing important, books we'd read, places we wanted to travel, the best pizza in the city. When she left, she didn't mention any other men calling her pet names. She just asked if I wanted to get dinner sometime. I said yes. It felt like a decent place to start.